Hello, welcome to another exciting video and a demonstration of an exciting tool from Mzamosa. In this particular video, I want to demonstrate to you how you can use linear programming and Visual Basic and some simple techniques in Excel to come up with a simulated schedule of trains, or if it can be cars or anything else that you actually want to schedule. In this case, how we started doing this is we set up a schematic diagram where we set up our model by labeling the times that we want the problem or the algorithm to solve or to come up with. Once we come up with the time, then we can be able to then simulate how the movement of the cars or the trains that you are trying to do or whatever then gets from its point of origin to its point of destination. Then we set up the model in a manner that we can allow Microsoft Excel Solver to be able to help us to solve this. Now we have our 18 variables, then we have our 28 constraints. First, if I can just explain how the constraints are grouped. The first group is constraints related to the movement between the point of origin and the halfway point. This is mainly used in case you have drivers or you have people that needs to book off or sign off out of duty. It allows you to have that constraint to be able to keep them according to the time that you want to keep them on duty. The second group and the third group are constraints that govern the crossings of the trains or the cars. And then the fourth group is constraints that are governing the running from the crossing place or the origin to its nearest point, or this nearest station or the next station. So between station 5 and 4, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, etc. And then the next ones are constraints that are governing the total running time of the train or the car that you are trying to model. Then the last two are the initialization. These are the constraints that tell us when the first train has to depart at minimum and when the second train had to depart. So once we've done that, then we go to Microsoft Excel Solver. Here I've already put in my model and I set it up, and then I get a solution. If you don't know how to do that, the first thing you need to do is to determine what they call your changing cells, which is that cell on row number 4 or just row number 4. And then the next thing, you need to determine your left hand side, which is the gray shaded cells, and then definitely then you have to do your right hand side, which is the ones that I'm highlighting now. How you determine the left hand side, you need to do a sum product of the changing cell and the constraint integers that you are putting in here. For example, in this case, constraint number 1 will stand for T1 minus T3, which is, if you come here, it's actually T3 minus T1. I'm sorry, so it is T3 minus T1. So that we are saying should take at least 10 hours. And then overall, we are then trying to minimize. Once you've done that, then you get these answers there from the changing cells. You then have to translate that to a train schedule, something like this, where you're saying from train number 1, it departs at that train station, it arrives, it departs, it arrives, it departs until it arrives at its final destination. And you do that for all the train. Then the next step that you need to do now is to then come up with something like a simulation. How you do the simulation is you use Visual Basic to plot or to fill in cells whereby a graph reads from to actually plot a graph. In this case, if I can just demonstrate to you a little bit how the code looks like. This one is just to bring up the simulation dashboard, and here I then have this code that first it clears the cells, and then after that it takes the contents of the numbers that we take out of the changing cells on our linear program, and then it puts them again in other cells, and then the graph that we have on our Excel actually reads from these cells here. And then from there, then we calculate the spreadsheet, and then we wait for a minute, and then we do the same thing again. So what happens is, if you then click that, then this is what you get. So this is basically just a very short demonstration, but I've made available the code to you so you can learn more. I have made available everything. I didn't hide any formula, so you can try and understand how the logic of this particular application or the tool that can help you to do certain other things, or maybe more complex systems that you are trying to put together or model or optimize. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to talk to you again soon.